Great. Well, can you start off by introducing yourself to our site visitors at popculturemadness.com?
I'm Phil, and I play guitar for As I Lay Dying.
Great. So, to start off with you, how are you enjoying Mayhem so far?
It's great. We're like 3.5 weeks-ish into the tour, and we have about 2 more weeks left, but every show's been great, packed stages from side stage to main stage, so it's good for everyone overall.
That's awesome. So what has been one of the highlights so far?
I think, the main stage, Slayer, Motorhead, Slayer, Slipknot, around that era of the time is when everyone's kind of going into the main stage area, and, we'll go out and like watch, and it's just like, this is a show, this is, as a fan of heavy music, like, you can't be disappointed in that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's such a great package of bands this year. It's awesome. So, what's in store for you guys? You said you have about another 2-3 weeks left on this. What's coming up on the agenda after that?
We'll be in Europe for about a month in October, November, with Trivium, Caliban, and Upon a Burning Body. And we're kind of finishing out what our plans are going to be after that for November, December. But we'll be back in the U.S. around that time, doing another club tour.
It's awesome. So do you have a preference between playing these larger festivals like this one or the smaller club dates?
You have to do both, because if you're always doing these big open air shows, it's just kind of like I'm kind of wanting to have that like more intimate energy, like crowd energy in a small club. So we've been filling in all these Mayhem shows with smaller club shows. So yesterday we played in Rochester for probably like 400 people, and like the smallest stage we've played on in a long time. And it's been, it's good to have that mix for sure.
I can imagine. So what has been one of your craziest fan experiences out here at Mayhem so far?
Fan experiences? I don't think there's been too many. Not that I can really remember, but there's definitely some crazy people more towards the end of the night. Once the alcohol is kind of taken effect. But it's been good overall. Nothing too bad.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So, can you fill us in a little bit about what the band has been working on lately?
We just got out of the studio. We recorded our 6th full-length album titled Awakened, and it's coming out September 25th on Metal Blade Records. Just kind of our next step in songwriting, and just trying to make the best record that we can. We feel like we definitely did.
That's awesome. So with Awaken, did you try anything different in the studio, or did you kind of go in with the same ideas?
I think we all kind of focused on what our strengths were as a band, and I think we pulled together more so than we ever had in just working things out throughout each song, throughout the album. And I think the biggest change was probably our producer. We worked with Bill Stevenson, who's done Rise Against, NoFX. He comes from an aggressive side of music. He plays drums for the Descendants as well, but this was definitely his heaviest album he's done. So I think that was the biggest change after working with Adam D for 2 years, from Killswitch. So his approach to songwriting, to just crafting our songs, was different and refreshing in a way. So that was probably the biggest change we went through on this album.
I can imagine. So was anything about that particularly challenging for you guys?
He was very easy to work with, so nothing was too challenging. It was, there were times where, he's like, I'm not feeling this part right here, and it's like, well, we'll just sit there for like a couple hours just thinking, going over it, throwing out every idea. Finally we'll get something, and it's just like, wow, this just makes the part so much better. So it was the most challenging part, actually, was the fact we only had 3.5 weeks to record the album, which we've usually had 2 months to record an album. So we were definitely rushing on guitars, which usually take the most time. So I don't know. I think in the end we were surprised, like, wow, we finished the guitars in less than 3 weeks. Like, maybe we can do that next album. But definitely a lot of pressure for that.
I can imagine. So how much material did you guys end up with such a short amount of time? Did you have like just enough to, make the album together? Do you have anything left over?
We had some leftover songs that we'll be using. But yeah, we went in there with kind of we probably demoed about 30 songs total. But, a demo is not always like album worthy. But, went in with about 14 songs and tracked them all.
That's great. So, being that we're a pop culture website, we're always immersed in a lot of pop culture. Is there anything these days that you personally can't get enough of?
I don't know. That's gotta take me a minute to think about. I'm not sure. I don't think I really have an answer on the spot.
Hey, that's okay. It's such a vast topic. Like, there's always a little bit of everything. Like, what was the first album that you remember purchasing that made you want to pursue music for a career?
I think Nirvana was the first thing. It was the Smells Like Teen Spirit video that I saw. And it just, I don't know, something about it. I was just mesmerized, and I was like, I want to play guitar. I want to do that. I want to be in a loud band. And shortly after, I started taking guitar lessons, and I was about 10. So I, playing guitar for about 16 years now. So.
That's awesome. Well, I want to thank you for taking a few minutes out to speak with me. What's the best way for us to keep up to date with the band? I'm sure you guys are pretty active on all the social media and all that.
We got all the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all those. We're all set up. I think it's on Twitter at As I Lay Dying Band. We have our website, asilaydying.com. That will lead you to all the social networks.
Like
yeah,
hub.
Go to the hub. Yeah. And then, Awakened, our new album, that'll be coming out September 25th.
Awesome. Well, we'll definitely direct our site visitors to check those places and make sure that they get out and pick up a copy of the new album. So thank you so much for speaking with me.